All right, I'm going to start us off with a statement that might just, stop you in your tracks. Yeah, just let that sink in for a minute. You have unclaimed life opportunities. I mean, doesn't that sound just like a notification? You know, the kind of alert that just pops up on your phone, practically begging you to tap on it? And really, that's the whole point, isn't it? Our screens are always buzzing with these little digital nudges for stuff that, let's be honest, doesn't really matter all that much. You know, unclaimed stickers, pending rewards, that kind of thing. But what if? What if life itself sent notifications for the things that actually do? This idea of a quiet billboard of life, I think that's such a powerful way to think about it. It's about all these huge, profound offers we might be missing out on, like unclaimed conversations, unanswered invitations, those connections that just kind of faded away because, well, we weren't really paying attention. So the big question has to be, why? So why do we miss them? Why do these billboards just pass us by? The easy answer, right, the one we all use, is that we're just too busy. But what if that's not the real story? This explainer really challenges that whole idea. Is it true busyness or is it more of an illusion? And this is where it gets really interesting because it's all about redefining what busyness even means. It's not always about meaningful, productive work, is it? So often it's just hours that seem to dissolve into endless scrolling or, having some show or music playing in the background that we kind of pretend is relaxation, but it's not. It's just noise. It's not progress. Okay, so if this constant kind of low-level busyness is the real problem, then what's the solution? Well, it's something our modern world has basically taught us to fear, to avoid at all costs, and that's boredom. And this really gets to the heart of it. Just think about this for a second. When every single moment is filled with a podcast, a video, a task, an alert, what can you actually hear? The answer, well, it comes from some pretty old wisdom. It's that boredom matters. It's not this empty void that you have to fill up immediately. It's actually a space that you're meant to explore. And there it is. That's the key. Boredom is what comes before reflection can even happen. And I'm not talking about that surface level thinking, running through your to-do list in your head. I mean the deep kind of reflection, the kind that lets you see into the overlooked corners of your own life. So what does that deep reflection actually show us? It's usually not some huge abstract revelation, It's the simple, vital, totally human stuff. It's finally noticing your own fatigue, or that quiet little feeling of longing for something, or even just realizing you have an unmet need to just breathe deeply. It's your body trying to tell you it needs water, or that it needs real, actual sleep. These are the messages that get completely drowned out by all the noise. Okay, so this is the crucial question, right? How do we actually do this? How can we possibly find this kind of space in a world that seems designed to eliminate it? Well, let's look at a really simple, practical strategy. And you know what? It's as simple and, let's be real, as difficult as this. You have to consciously, deliberately step away from the constant engagement. You have to intentionally create the room for these quiet reminders to finally bubble up to the surface. And look, we're not talking about needing to go on some week-long silent retreat here. Just think about these examples. They're so simple, so accessible. Take a walk, but leave the headphones at home. Go for a slow bike ride with no particular destination in mind, or just a quiet drive on an empty road. These little acts, they aren't about doing nothing. They're about actively restoring what all that constant noise has been eroding. And doing this is so essential. Why? Because life's most important offers, they're subtle. They don't show up with blaring alarms and flashing lights. Which brings us to this final, really powerful thought. Life does not always announce its offers loudly. Some of the most transformative opportunities we'll ever have, they remain unclaimed. Not because we rejected them, but just because there was never enough silence for us to even notice they were there in the first place. So the question this leaves all of us with is, what quiet offer is waiting for you to notice it?